You're a mum, you're a mum, you're a busy mum. Come listen to the Busy Mum podcast. Life hacks and inspiration for the busy modern mum.
Welcome to the latest episode of the Busy Mum podcast. Just before we get into this interview, I will be releasing new episodes each Monday morning, just like clockwork. Also, if you don't want to miss an episode, subscribe to my iTunes channel, The Busy Mum Podcast. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. Just search The Busy Mum and you should find me there. Now, a word from our sponsor. Do you find that you hop in the shower, you're enjoying the lovely hot water dripping down all over your body, relaxation, no interruptions from the kids, and you think, yeah, I'm going to shave my legs now. You just pick up your razor and it's in just the most rubbish condition. It's rusted, it's full of soap scum or shaving cream, or even your husband has grabbed it and shaved his face and not cleaned it out. Gross. But you clean it out a little bit, you give it a go, and you end up cutting your legs, and now they look worse than when they were just a little bit hairy. Well, now thanks to Pins, the latest and greatest women's leg shaving company, you can have them delivered straight to your door. New razors all the time. But not only do they have razors with 6 blades plus 4 extra cartridges in the pack, but they also have a clear shave gel, which is slippery as hell and moisturizes to boot. The gel also allows you to see exactly what you are shaving, which is great for those pits and private bits. I've been using them now for at least 6 months and am loving it. Check them out at www.pinnspins.com.au. And don't forget to use the Busy Mum podcast code, BusyMum, to get 15% off your first purchase. So welcome to the Busy Mum podcast. Paula, how are you this morning? Or this afternoon, sorry. We're already in the afternoon.
Hi, Jackie. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm really well. It's, as you know, a Friday afternoon after a long and busy week. We get really tired, but I have to say this is going to be one of my favourite parts of the week, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I always find that podcasts do lift me up rather than drag me down. I get really energized when I speak to other women out there that are smashing it in business. Speaking about business, I know that you have one. Can you tell me all about your business and how you run it and how you run it with the small children in the house as well?
So my name is Paula from Possum Digital, and what I do is I actually help small businesses use the power of social media to grow community around their business and to ultimately grow their business itself. I get to work with lots and lots of different business owners throughout my week. I also do quite a bit of work in the charity and not-for-profit sector, which I really love and is amazing. So I'm a social media strategist, Facebook advertiser, and of late, the phrase that's kind of popped in a little bit is social media translator, because one thing that I'm told I do really well is help people understand social media in jargon-free, non-fancy pants terms. So that's something that I'm starting to embrace and like. I have a very precocious and sassy but very smart and lovely 4.5-year-old, and when she's with me, Look, sometimes it can be hard to run the business around her, but she's also incredibly accommodating for the small person that she is. So I'm really grateful to have her.
I found when I was working with my small children, when they were 1 and 4 and then 2 and 5, and then, as they get older, they get older. But they kind of sense when you're on the computer, don't they? And they come straight in. They're like, hey, Mum, actually, I'm hungry. It's like, what? I just fed you. So how are you dealing with all of that kind of stuff?
Oh, it's so funny. So what I make sure that I do is I actually section out parts of the day. So we've got a little bit of a bed routine. So when she's with me, we have the bed routine. I focus fully on that. We make sure we, sit down and have a little bit of story time. We, have dinner together, dinner, bath time, all that kind of stuff, but also making sure that bed routine is focused solely on her. Yep. And then when she goes to bed, I jump on the computer and do a bit of, bash out a bit of work for a couple of hours. I also get up before her in the morning, so often I wouldn't normally, I guess, kind of work traditional 9 to 5 hours, because that's just not how my day eventuates. But if I need to actually do the work, I'll sometimes do it late at night and sometimes do it early in the morning. If I've got to take a call or if I've got to, be on the phone with someone, I'll actually sit down and go, hey, so Mama's got to be on a call. Do you mind just, I'm just going to go into my bedroom, close the door. Do you need anything to eat beforehand? So we've got a little bit of a routine around that, which is great. And so it means then that because I don't do it that often and only when I absolutely need to, she really respects that. But as you know, having to sit there and explain it a few times, Mama's got to be on a call. I won't be very long. Here are a range of snacks for you to choose. Here's the TV.
No,
all your toys.
I totally get that. I totally get that. What my kids do now, they're 6 and 9, is when I'm on the phone, they come in with the snacks that they know they're not allowed to have and go, yeah, can I have this? I'm pointing to my hand like as it's a snack going, can I have this? And I'll be like, just like go away. And they're little menaces sometimes, I tell you. It's just like, don't ask me any questions when I'm on the phone because I'll just say yes so you'll go away for that particular time. So that they get pretty smart, I tell you. So talk to me more about your business. Like, are you able to maybe share, say, the top 3 things that you find come up all the time in social media? Like, you can talk about it in plain English, whereas I sometimes have trouble talking in normal English just in conversation. But with social media, like what are the top 3 things that you're finding that you're repeating yourself over and over again to these clients?
Okay, so interestingly, I've actually been running a bit of a social media drop-in centre at my local co-working space here in the inner west of Sydney. And some of, I guess, kind of between my clients and when I'm speaking to these business owners, the things that come up time and time again, number one is content. So people are saying to me, look, I just don't know what to say. I really have absolutely, I know I've got to post things, I know I've got to do this, but I just have absolutely no idea. And so I spend a lot of time creating a bit of helping people create a bit of a framework and go, actually, you know what? You actually do have a lot to say. Like, let's talk about your day. Let's talk about things that have happened. Let's talk about behind the scenes, about your staff, about your clients, about the work that you do. And as soon as we start to really sort of break that down, people then realize, after like 30 minutes, oh my God, I've got like 6 months worth of content. It's amazing. So it really sometimes, you know yourself, you can be your own worst enemy, and I'm totally like this for myself. Like, you can be your own worst enemy, and you just need to step out of your own way and look at what's actually going on, and you go, actually, there is a lot there. So that's really cool. So content is the main thing. Secondly is they have a lot of input from a lot of people around them. So, and a lot of people giving them advice about, you've got to do this for the algorithm and this for the algorithm and this for the algorithm. And it gets really confusing for people. So if they're on Facebook, if social media is not your core skill set, then talking about an algorithm or thinking about it or thinking, I've just got to do these technical bits, it's going to blow your brain. It's going to be really confusing, and it's going to be really hard. And so what I teach people is, let's actually just put that stuff to the side. So if I was going to talk to someone about advertising, we'd talk algorithms and other stuff. But on that sort of organic building community and creating content and interactions with people, we try and create a strategy that is, well, let's actually just talk to people. Let's actually have a strategy that connects people to you so that when there's algorithm changes or platform changes that you have absolutely no control over. If you think of all the things in your day you have no control over, this is one of them. You have to just let it go. So we do a lot of work around, I guess, a people-centered approach to social marketing. So instead of, let's just smash a whole lot of content, let's just blast a whole lot of stuff out there. Instead of doing that, let's actually just talk to people. So that's the kind of the second thing that comes up. And then the third thing is Facebook advertising, because people have spent a lot of money and a lot of time, and they've wasted a lot of money and wasted a lot of time and gone, I don't even know where to start. So so in that Facebook ad space, what I teach people is how to, test on a small scale budget. Okay, so let's have these things in place. Let's do a little bit of testing. Let's understand what's going on, and then let's learn from there. So they're probably the biggest 3 things that repeatedly come up. And I just help business owners and organisations break through those so that we can actually get some results on the board.
And do you do more like one-on-one coaching, or are you going to be moving towards, say, like an online school type of scenario?
Well, this is actually really quite interesting because so at the moment I do either one-on-one or we actually implement for people. So we've got a model where we create content and upload content and manage social pages and communities for people, or we run the ads, or we do the thing. Or there's me sitting down one-on-one with people and coaching. This idea of a mastermind, look, it's something that I've thought about. It's something that I may do in 2019. But when I was running this drop-in centre, I really liked the idea of having this group learning and people learning from each other. And there was a lot of good energy and people bouncing ideas and other things around. So whilst my business model is that at the moment, I am exploring moving that towards maybe some group training, but only small group training. The idea of just having an online course and blasting it out to everybody, I want to add value. So to me, is that truly adding value, and do people get to really understand if they just kind of watch a few videos and that's it, and they have to go off and do it for themselves? So if I do set something up in that space, it will really be around small group learning and interactions, because I think that's the best way people learn and implement.
Yeah, implementation is always the kicker, I reckon, because people can learn all day long, but unless they're implementing any of these strategies that you're teaching them, what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. And that's half the battle. So we can come up with all the plans and the strategies in the world, but if there's no action, if there's absolutely no action, then you move nowhere. Yeah. At the end of every session that I have with somebody, we actually spend the last 10 minutes going through. So what's your homework? What are you actually going? What are the 3 things that you're actually going to walk away from this and do? Because if you don't do any of this stuff, you've wasted an hour of your time and an hour of my time to sit here and just have a chat and a conversation. Because if you don't actually do the action, then what was the outcome?
Yeah.
So I'm very, very big on getting people to do the thing.
Yeah, to do the thing. So you touched on it before, how you stick to your bed, bath, dinner routine with your daughter. What does your usual day kind of look like from like start to finish?
So I'm normally up by about 5:30, 6 o'clock most mornings, and the first thing I do, and it's probably the wrong thing, but the first thing I do is I just grab the phone. I head to the kettle, I put the kettle on, get a cup of tea ready, stand there and just flick through and go, right, so what emails have come in overnight or what social things have come in that I just need to, and then I spend like 10 minutes just triaging all of that to deal with later, and then have a cup of tea, get myself ready, and then sit down at the computer and do I reckon a good solid hour and a half's worth of work. And I find that is actually my most productive time of the day, because I can actually do work uninterrupted for a period of time and bash a lot of stuff out, and that's really, really it's so much joy when that happens. And then exactly, and then there'll be someone slowly rising out of bed and a little pitter patter running down the hallway, and then you go, okay, well now it's breakfast and let's kind of have a bit of a chat and all of that kind of stuff. But so that would be the start then. And then depending on what I have on that day, whether it's, spending the day with my daughter, which I do. So every Thursday I don't actually work in my business. I spend the whole day with my daughter. And so, yeah, that's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on other days, there might be client meetings. Once or twice a week, I work out of a co-working space in Newtown. But there isn't really a typical day. But yeah, there is kind of this morning routine where I get up, check stuff, and can actually get out a good solid amount of work, which then kind of sets me up for the rest of the day, so that if I actually want to stop work at 3 o'clock, I can. Because if I'm going to work, I'll sort of start early and then finish early, because that's just how my body clock works. And if something urgent comes in, it comes in. But if I then go, you know what, I've had enough. I've worked a number of hours today. I've met people. I've talked to people. I'm good now.
You've got your social dose.
Exactly. So, so as I said, I don't necessarily work a typical 9 to 5 structure, because that just doesn't work. But that's okay, because, if you work till 10 o'clock at night one night, that means that you may not necessarily need to work tomorrow, but it also means that I can work a 4-day week, and that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why you have a business, so you have the flexibility to do what you want, and you can design your life how you want it to flow. And I think that's genius, really, absolute genius. So what's the best advice you've received?
The best advice I've received, and look, it's a lesson that just keeps popping up again and again and again, and it is, don't take it personally. So there are things that happen in our lives and in our businesses, and we think, wow, why did that person do that thing to me? So, whether it's a client or whether it's whoever it is, whatever's going on, it's we often make these things about ourselves when they're just not. It's actually just not about you at all. And so I was doing some work with a mindset coach around reframing that, and I then sort of retrained my brain into, well, as much as you possibly can. What if I actually think that this is not about me at all, that there's actually something going on for that other person that's going on in their lives, and they're just reacting in this way. Just like, when you make things about you, it's not about other people. So it's actually a really important piece of advice that I've received, because it means then I'm not taking on the negative energy and the negative stuff that's going on for other people. Because as someone who's a true introvert, I can sometimes take on that, when you sometimes take on that negative energy, and you take that within yourself and you go, and it actually makes you feel really tired and not very happy and stressed and all that stuff. That one mindset change has removed so much stress and negativity. It's been great.
That's fantastic. You, in that answer, you did mention a mindset coach. So talk to me more about that. When did you get the idea to go and seek a mindset coach, and how long have you been dealing with a mindset coach? How did that come about? I know it's not a question I prepared.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. No, it's a good question. I'm a big believer in putting good support around you. And there was a woman who I came across, there's a woman that I've known for a long time, and I actually went to a training session of hers. Her name is Jen Harwood, and she's got this book called The Greatness Principle. And really the premise of it is you are not a lone wolf in this life. You've actually got to put a support network around you, and each person will play a different role in your life. And I did a 2-day training of hers. God, that would have been maybe 5 years ago. Anyway, it was a while ago, and a lot of that stuff, based on what was going on for me in my life at that time, really resonated with me. And so I then started to go, you know what, who are the people in my life? What support do I need, and who's the right person to help me with that support? And also acknowledging that you can't just rely on 1 or 2 people for support, because they're going to get tired too, and they're going to need support. So, going through and finding the right people to trust. And then I thought, actually, you know what, I've really got to start working on the mind, because for me, the mind can be the biggest tool that either works for me or it works against me. And so I've worked with a few different people in this space, and they've all served a different purpose, and they've all helped me out. The latest person that I've had a couple of sessions with is a wonderful person who you know as well, called Sharon Chisholm, who is
Sharon!
just fabulous.
Love Sharon.
I have actually referred to her as an exfoliator for my mind, because I think that she's just wonderful. But the first, I know, she's just wonderful, and I hope she actually listens to this.
I might tag her in. I'll tag her in. This is one for you.
But yeah, the first person I worked with was probably about maybe about 3 years ago, and what they helped me with is kind of understand, actually, here's how your mind's working, here's how to understand if you've got certain triggers going on. So it was really just kind of coaching through understanding what's going on, and here's how, here are some tools to help you kind of change that. So if you're someone who has a bit of an anxious brain, you don't loop on the same thing again and again and again and again. You just get out of that loop pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's a big time wasting tool that you have in your brain that keeps giving sometimes, doesn't it? I get it in social situations sometimes. So like after I've had a night out and I've met all new people, like we did just a few weeks ago for the Misfit Christmas dinner, like that night I just kept replaying all the conversations I had, and I'm like, what am I doing? And I didn't get to sleep until 3 a.m. because I was so excited about all the people I met. So I didn't take it as a negative thing, but that's what my brain does. Like, so tonight I'm going to go and, like, we've got these carols by candlelight thing, and I know probably the same thing's going to happen. I get too excited and I speak to too many people, and then my brain kicks in with this social, like, oh, did I say the right thing? Didn't I say the right thing? Oh, that was good. I remember that conversation. And it's just like, oh, shut off, please. So I totally get it.
Absolutely. And you just think, oh God, did I say the right thing? Did I come across as an idiot? Why did I say that? I totally get it.
Oh yeah, that must be called, is it social anxiety? That's what it's called, isn't it? Social anxiety?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I get a bit of that. So moving on, what books are you currently reading, or are you more of like one to sit down and watch a good Netflix series or something like that?
Look, I'm I do like to watch Netflix. It is a bit of a stress outlet, and I've really kind of embraced the whole Nordic noir or Scandi noir type TV show, and there's a couple of reasons behind this. One, because I just love a really good murder mystery. So anything, like, I'm like British TV murder dramas, like, love it. British cop dramas, love it. But I'm watching a Finnish series at the moment, and what I love about it is because it's subtitled, you have to sit there and just watch it. You can't do anything else apart from watch this show. So you can't get your phone out and, play a game or jump on Facebook. You've actually just got to focus on the one thing. So I find that, like, I'll just watch a show of this and focus totally on that and go, oh, that was really cool. So I do sort of love Netflix. I've got Stan as well because, Paw Patrol.
It's a business expense. It's childcare.
Well, totally. But the best two books that I've read this year so far, one of them is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a
Beep.
F.CK. Again, it kind of reinforced this thing that people look at the title and go, oh, so it means that you don't care about anything. That's actually not the case. It is a really good book in helping you to think about what actually matters in life. That you can look at some comment on Facebook and either get outraged or just move on. What is it that's actually really, really important to you to make sure that you live a good life, and just let the rest go, because who cares? If someone makes some outrageous statement on Facebook,
they're not in your inner circle a lot of the time as well.
Well, that's right. So if someone makes an outrageous comment on an outrageous statement or something on Facebook, does it actually impact your life? No, it doesn't. Move on. And then the other book is, now apologies to your listeners if I pronounce this incorrectly, but it is a book about Ikigai, and Ikigai is a Japanese understanding of the. It's a confluence of many things that actually come out to understand what your purpose is in life and how you can actually make sure that what you do in life, serves a purpose. Yes, it generates an income and all of these things. So, how we talk about, you might talk about passion and how you can help the world and what the world needs and will pay for. This is a similar concept, but there's about 7 different things that kind of come together. And in the circle around that is your Ikigai. And it's a beautiful, beautiful book. And it has a look at, some case studies.
How do you spell Ikigai?
Ikigai.
Because I'll look that up and I'll also pop that in your blog as well, because I'm not sure if it's written down here. And I don't know if you've said it right either. So I get words wrong all the time. so don't worry about that. Okay. So let's go on with what is your go-to dinner? So for me, I've had quite a lot of people tell me spaghetti bolognese is the go-to dinner. What's your go-to dinner?
So my go-to dinner is one that I know that my daughter's going to eat every single time. And look, I've been really lucky. Not only is she a good kid, she's a good kid that eats her vegetables. As long as you give her the vegetables she likes, she's more than happy to eat them. And so the go-to dinner that I can have in front of her in 10 minutes is green beans, corn and salmon without fail every single time. Oh, and some carrots as well. And she will sit there and she'll eat the whole lot.
Oh, good girl. That's amazing. My girls, first of all, my girls go, what is that? I don't like that. I don't like that. I won't eat that. And my rule of thumb is I always go, just eat as much as you can. Just eat as much as you can. And they'll go eat away, and then they'll come back, go, is this enough so I can have dessert? I'm like, no, you got to eat that and that. And they'll eat it, and I go, and that as well, and that and that. So I think maybe I put a little bit too much on their plate sometimes, but I just I chuck it all on there and I go for it. Just eat, please eat. What's one area of your...
Absolutely. And
Oh, sorry, you go.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say the thing that I find really funny, and I'm sure you deal with this as well, is, I'm really full now. I don't want to eat this bit, or I don't, or she may not have touched something, and I'm really full. Yeah. Can I have a treat, or can I have some dessert? Well, if you're too full for this, you're too full for dessert. No, not at all. It's a separate tummy. Tummy.
Like, I've left room for the dessert. The dinner tummy is full. You kind of go, okay, that is not how it works. Although, when you are full and you're like, I can still fit in a thick shake or something though, because that goes in through the cracks, right? That's where the logic of the thinking comes from. What is one area of your life you would like to improve, Paula?
So I've talked a bit about, working really early in the morning and working really late at night. One area I do want to improve is making sure that I do have, in whatever form it takes, and I know there's a lot of people that talk about work-life balance, but making sure that whatever time I do carve out for personal time, that work doesn't actually impede on it, because sometimes I am tempted to, check the phone and go, you know what, that's just going to be really easy to solve, so I'll just do that now, rather than actually going, no, this is time to make sure that, I'm taking personal time, or I'm just taking relaxing time, or I'm just going to do the gardening, or I'm just going to do this thing over here. So a mate of mine and I, we challenge each other to find new and interesting things to do. And so interestingly, tomorrow we're both going to a no-dig garden workshop just up the road. I know, in Lilyfield at the Green Living Centre. Oh. So we're going to, even though neither of us have a garden and neither of us know how to actually grow stuff.
It's so hard, I'm telling you.
Oh, God, I can imagine. Look, I'm someone that has killed mint. And apparently mint is really hard to kill. So I do not have a green thumb at all. But so we're going to go along to this workshop and I will leave the phone in the car. We won't engage in it I won't be taking it in. I'm just going to be focused on trying to learn how to actually grow stuff because that might be a bit fun.
It's funny that you say that because we only just planted a whole heap of stuff in our backyard. We don't have a big backyard, but we had like a garden bed on the outside of the grassed area, and it had these useless plants in, and then the tree in the corner died. Like, we didn't kill this tree. We moved in and it just started dying. And then one night I remember a branch fell off and I thought, oh God, what is that noise? Someone's trying to get in the house. And a big branch had fallen off, and I was like, wow. So I got the kids to kind of rip it all apart, and that was fun for them. But what we've done now is we went to Bunnings last weekend and we planted all these like vegetable crops, and we've got a chili on our chili plant. Oh, I can't believe it. It's, you know what? It's so exciting when you grow like something this big, like an inch big. You're just like, oh my God, I'm a gardener. I'm a gardener. So if you can get some pots, like, I'm not sure what your backyard looks like, but if you can get some really big pots with some really good potting mix, don't buy the cheap potting mix that dries out. Get the stuff that smells like poo. Get that stuff. And trust me, your plants will grow really well. And I've got like maybe half of a green thumb because I'm working really hard at it. But it is, see, I feel really passionate about it. So I love it. And I reckon you would too. You should get into it, definitely. Moving on though, what is your greatest fear and how do you deal with it?
Look, my greatest fear in the world is heights. I cannot, where do you even begin? I'm the person that went to Paris and did not go up the Eiffel Tower because I did not care to stand at the top and look down. I'm happy to stand on the ground and look up, and it was lovely. Heights and me do not mix. And in that, flying, even though I've done quite a bit of flying. Exactly, quite a bit of flying. Flying I still find quite challenging as well. It's the idea of not having anything underneath me. So, I'm hurtling in a steel tube, many thousands of miles through the sky, and there's a lot of ground between my backside. There's a lot of space between my backside and the ground. So flying is quite challenging, and it was really hard when I spent a month in the States earlier this year, and one particular flight, I was flying from San Francisco to Las Vegas, and I was sitting next to this really lovely couple who picked up, I think they were from suburban California somewhere, and they picked up the accent and we were having a lovely chat, and as we were going to land into the airport, the worst turbulence of my life. I felt like I thought we were going to,
did you say we're going to die?
Things were going to happen.
Hold on.
Oh, my God. The couple next to me, they started freaking out. I started freaking out. The husband's in the middle with his wife on the window, and he's holding both of our hands going, we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. And obviously we did. But, oh, my God, it was horrible. But put me in a fast car and I'm fine.
Really?
I've driven race cars around a mini race car track at huge speeds. They put me in a race car and I'm fine because I'm on the ground, but put me up high and forget it.
How fast did you go?
Over 200 k's.
I'll tell you a quick little story. When I was younger and stupider, and only just got my license, I actually got up to 180 in a car on a suburban road, which I won't name. And it was terrifying. And that's why I'm like, no way. I was like, when I look back, I think, you are the biggest idiot, Jackie. Why the hell would you do something stupid like that? Because now I know the consequences. Back then I was like, I am fearless. I am strong. I can do anything. No, you can't. You can't. Okay, so I've got 3 quick questions and then I'll let you get on with your day.
Yes.
Okay, question number 1. What websites have you signed up to that you actually find value in receiving their emails?
TheMinimalists.com. I love them. I love their ethos. They produce amazing content.
And how are you going with that? Is your house a minimalist house?
Not quite. However, it's getting there.
Awesome. It's a little bit
It's a
at a
work in
time.
progress, like we all are.
Exactly. What's one piece of advice you would give your pre-baby self?
Take time out for the little things.
Lovely. And
appreciate them.
Final question. What's the most useful and useless baby item you have?
Oh, so the most useful baby item, I don't know if your listeners have heard it. It's the Dare to Dream swaddle bag. Amazing. No. Absolutely amazing. Whoever invented that is a godsend. It's literally a bag that you stick your baby in and they go to sleep and they're kind of cuddled up and they go, it's amazing. Useless baby items. Oh God, there's just so many to name. Really all you need is a cot, car seat. There's not a lot that you actually need. But people just throw you stuff and you go, I haven't even opened this. There's too many to name, and the thought of all of that wastage kind of just sends me into palpitations.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Paula, for being on the Busy Mum podcast. It's been a pleasure to speak with you this afternoon. Yay! We did it.
Thanks, Jackie. I've really enjoyed it. Yay!
Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Busy Mum podcast. Don't forget to let your friends know and also subscribe to the iTunes channel and also my socials if you want to see what I'm getting up to. A brand new episode is out every Monday morning, just like clockwork. Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Busy Mum podcast. Don't forget to let your friends know and also subscribe to the iTunes channel and also my socials if you want to see what I'm getting up to. A brand new episode is out every Monday morning, just like clockwork.